welcome. In this series, you have so far seen how to design a table to store data of different data types, enter data in datasheet view, or using a form, as well as to select only certain fields and records using filters and queries. Today, we will be focusing on database objects called reports. A report is an effective way to present your data in a printed format. Because you have control over the size and appearance of everything on a report, you can display the information the way you want to see it. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to create different reports using wizards and modify the reports in Design View, apply sorting and grouping in reports, apply basic mathematical functions in reports, explain effects of rounding and truncation as seen through an application package. The reports we are going to create will be bound to the database tables and queries we have already created. That means it will automatically use the data in the fields in the underlying tables and queries. If you want to select only certain records to be displayed in the report, you have to first create and save a query. Other information such as the title, column headings, date, page number, and expressions to calculate totals can be added and will be stored in the report's design. There are handy wizards that create different reports instantly, and after starting with those, we shall modify the reports in Design View. AutoReport creates a report that displays all fields and records in the underlying table or query. In the database window, click Reports under Objects. Click the New button on the database window toolbar. In the New Report dialog box, click one of the following wizards. AutoReport Columnar, where each field appears on a separate line with a label to its left, or AutoReport Tabular, where the fields in each record appear on one line and the labels print once at the top of each page. Click the table or query that contains the data you want to base your report on and click OK. To create labels that can be printed on stickers, you can use the Label Wizard. Let's say we need stickers to put on all research books to indicate that they cannot be taken out. We have created a query before to select only these records. In the database window, click Reports under Objects. Click the New button on the database window toolbar. In the New Report dialog box, click Label Wizard. Click the query Research Books that contains the data we want to base your report on. Click OK. Choose a label size, say Avery C2180, which will give us labels 21 mm by 15 mm, which is small enough to stick to the book spines. Click Next. Next, you can select the font size and style. I'm accepting the default size. Now choose the fields you want on the label. I want the ISBN number on the first line, so I hit the Enter key after selecting it. And then the title and author separated by a space, followed by the text for research only. Any text you type on the label will appear on all labels. Click Next. Then choose a field to sort by. I want to sort by title. Click Next. Then enter a name for your report and choose to see the labels as they will look printed. The report will open. To create a report that will only show some of the fields and include totals like sum and average, you can use the Report Wizard. Let's say we need a list of the title and quantity of all books in all formats. In the database window, click Reports under Objects. Click the New button on the database window toolbar. In the New Report dialog box, click Report Wizard. Click the table Books that contains the data we want to base our report on. Click OK. Now choose the fields you want on the report. I want the title and quantity, and because I want to group the data according to format, I have to include the format field as well. Click Next. Then choose Format as grouping level. This means the report will keep all CDs, DVDs, softcover and hardcover books together in groups. Then choose a field to sort by. I want to sort in ascending order by title. To change from ascending order to descending order, just click the button with the caption ascending to toggle between ascending and descending. You may sort records by up to 4 fields. Then click Summary Options. The dialog windows allows you to choose sum, average, maximum and minimum. Click Next. You can experiment with different layouts, page orientation and styles on your own. For now, let's accept the defaults and click Next and Next. Type in a title for the report, books grouped by format, and choose to preview the report. Just like when we worked with tables, forms and queries, there are 2 views when you work with reports, Print Preview and Design View. You can toggle between the 2 views by clicking the View icon on the standard toolbar. Click on Design View. You will notice that the report consists of several sections. The report consists of the report header, which contains the title of the report and will be appearing only once at the start of the report. The page header, which is repeated at the top of each page if the data is not grouped. The field headings can appear here. The category header, which will be repeated at the top of each grouping level. The field headings can appear here if data is grouped. The details section, which will be repeated for every record. The category footer, which will contain all the summary totals and is repeated at the bottom of each group. The page footer, which can contain the date and page number and is repeated at the bottom of each page. The report footer, which can contain grand totals for all records in the report and only appears once at the end of the report. To change the height of a section, place the pointer on the bottom edge of the section and drag the pointer up or down. You can customize the report in the same way as forms in Design View. You can resize individual controls by dragging. Be careful not to change the width of the report since it won't fit on a printed page anymore. You can also change the font properties of a control and move items on the report. Let's try out a couple of ways to do that. You can add labels, lines and rectangles and pictures using the tools in the toolbox, just like we did for forms. If the toolbox is not visible, click the toolbox icon on the formatting toolbar or click Toolbox on the View menu. In a tabular report, the 2 parts of the text box control are separated. The label forms a column heading and the data control is in the Details section. When you add a text box, you can move the label to the page header or group header if you want it to be a column heading. You can change the sorting and grouping levels, headers and footers in Design View as follows. Click the report selector. Click Sorting and Grouping. The symbol in the row selector on the left indicates the field currently used for grouping. When you double-click this row selector, the selection will extend to all fields in this row. To delete the grouping, just hit the Delete key. To change sorting from ascending to descending, click in the cell to see the drop-down list where you can choose ascending or descending. If you want a group header or footer, the group properties should say yes. To remove it, just change the property to no. For example, if I change the group header to no, the groups won't have headings. To add functions manually, you have to work in Design View. To calculate a total or average on a report, you have to add a text box in the appropriate footer and type in the function in the text control as follows. Click the text box tool on the toolbox. Then click in the group footer to calculate a total or average for a group of records, or click in the report footer to calculate a grand total or average for all records in a report. Select the text box and then click Properties on the toolbar. In the Control Source property box, type an expression. The expression always starts with an equal sign and can make use of a built-in function followed by round brackets. In the round brackets, you have to use a field name used on the report in square brackets. For example, equal sum quantity in brackets will add up all the values in the quantity field for the section. Equal average quantity in brackets will add up all the values in the quantity field for the section and divided by the number of records in the section. Equals maximum purchase price in brackets will display the highest value in the purchase price field in the section. Equals minimum quantity in brackets will display the lowest number in the quantity field in the section. Equals count quantity in brackets will count the number of records in the section. This expression counts all the records in the report even if some fields in some records are null. The field in square brackets also doesn't have to be a numeric field. Take care to spell the field names exactly as in the table, or else the field name will not be recognized. When you use functions like average, the result will often be a real number which can display many decimals. You can round the value to display a fixed number of decimal places in the report by setting the format property to fixed and the decimal places to the number of decimals you want to display, for example, 1. To print the report while it is open, click Print on the File menu. Specify a printer, the pages you want to print. Under Copies, specify the quantity and whether they should be collated. You need to practice all you have learned to become an experienced database designer. Your task is to create a database of all your friends with their names, addresses, birthdays, and photos. Also indicate whether they are close friends or acquaintances. Create a query of all your close friends that you want to invite to your birthday party. Print a list of the people you want to invite as well as labels to put on the invitations. Thank you for joining us for this lesson on database. And as always, don't forget to visit our website. Till next time, keep well.